Welcome back to Strikeout Bros. I'm Pablo. We got Lasha on the other side. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Can't believe we're month to go to the postseason. Looks like both our teams gonna make it.
I don't know. I don't know. You guys are in the postseason as we speak. The Mets aren't. So we have a long road to go. I know it's only like what 30 something games, but those 30 something games are gonna mean a lot.
Goes by fast.
Yeah, and they go by fast too. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. But right now we're gonna talk about the name of the episode. It's starting pitchers. Listen up. And the reason why it's called that is because we're going to be talking about, these rumors out there. People are saying that they're going to force the starting rotation to go 6 innings, and it's very interesting. I'm excited for that. All these new rules that they've implemented into the season. And as we go along, I like all of them. I like all of them. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes the game more interesting. I don't have a problem with it. If it makes the game better, we were talking about that the other day when you said you went to the minor league system, right? And you watched the game and the AI was calling the shots, no?
Yeah, no, definitely. The balls and strike system you're talking about. I think it's fantastic. It literally takes 5 seconds. The umpire makes the decision. It's up to his discretion. So you no longer have input on the manager because the managers are gonna know that the umpire is gonna make the automatic decision to review. So per bat, it's probably per batter. It probably review one pitch per batter. So that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
No,
So
not
now
at all.
they're thinking about implementing this rule that they're gonna force it on the minor leaguers first. Obviously, it's like a force. They don't have a choice, but they want to see if it works out there like they do everything else. But I'm interested. So basically, the only way you can get out of the game prior to the 6 innings is you have to throw over 100 pitches, right? You have to allow at least four more earned runs, right? And obviously suffering an injury. So tell me, Lash, what do you think about this? You think this is something that we need? Do you think this is gonna make the game faster? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, I like it. It's great. Um, in the early 2000s, in the 90s, and the 2000s, I've been a fan since the late 90s, all the way through. You were shocked if you're the Messinas of the world or the Pedro Martinez when he was or the Tom Glavines of the world. You were shocked if they didn't go at least minimum of 6 innings. So the reason why they reduced the amount of innings these pitchers because they worry about these guys blowing their arms out. But then realize it's not the innings is not the issue. The issue is these guys are throwing way harder than the Pedro Martinez of the world and Tom Glavines and all these guys. Way harder, and that's why they're blowing themselves. It has nothing to do with how many pitches they throw. It's that within those 100 pitches, at least 80, 70% of them are gas. So you're putting more torque and pressure on the arm. That's why these guys, it has nothing to do with how many innings you pitch. I like the rule because what's going to happen is you're going to save your bullpen. You're not going to have the issue like you have currently in the majors where both the starting pitching and the bullpens are completely derailed in both leagues right now. You can't you I can't name one team on either league that says they have a dominant bullpen. Like when their bullpen comes, they're gonna you're not gonna have a chance to score. And I can't say that about starting pitchers. No team in none of the contenders. I can't say wow, their starting staff they're not to be messed with. It's gonna be hard to score a run. You're not be like, oh, I can't wait to I get to the bullpen. That's no longer the case because both the starting pitchings are struggling. So are the bullpens. So if it means it saves the bullpen, great. Like I said, I like to go 100 pitches or 6 innings. Why not? You guys are paid millions of dollars to pitch. It's ridiculous. The guy that pitched for the Mets, he went what? No, the guy for the Orioles, he only went like 5 innings. It's ridiculous. Why?
I mean, because
I know it's a
they
tie
felt
game,
like
but come on.
analytics. They felt like that was the time. It was like, all right, people are, teams and management. They're always scared of that third time around the bat. The lineup, because that's when the batters adjust to the pitching and they kind of understand where this guy's going. and it makes a difference, because it's like everything, you keep trying till you succeed, right? First time out, if you never seen the picture before, you have no idea. You can watch video, you can do all that, but it's favored for the pitcher. I feel like the pitcher has the advantage in that situation. Now the second time around, he can completely switch it up on you when you still don't know what's going on. But the third time around, it's like, all right, I've seen you twice. I see what you can throw. I see how fast you can throw. I see how your stuff moves. You have a better shot at hitting it the third time around. So I understand why these pitchers are leaving, you know, prior to that third time around the lineup. But, with this rule makes it, kind of like what I used to love. Like you said, these pitchers used to go, full games. It wasn't a unicorn. It was like, the majority of these pitchers in the '90s went 9 innings if they could. They felt it and they felt good about it. They did. So we're gonna go, get back to that now. It's gonna be interesting. They're gonna have to, switch it up. Like what I was reading was that, now they're gonna have to pitch the contact because if you think about it, that's the fastest way out of an inning. And on top of that, they're gonna have to be smarter. They can't be throwing that gas like you were saying earlier, which is very interesting that you saw it that way because I kind of saw it that way as well. It's like, if you're throwing too hard, you're not gonna survive too long in that game. But when you have to, master the at bat and you have to be, savvy with it because you can't just, throw gas like that because you have to manipulate your pitches and manipulate your time up there. You can't, after 100 pitches, you already know. But this has been an interesting week in baseball. I can say that much. But tell me if you have any more thoughts on what we just finished talking about. You said a lot of good, a lot of good points out there. And this is why
Well,
you're the genius.
the only point is, you know, these pitchers getting so much money. Corbin Burns this year, well, this past offseason, the free agent market, or the money that these pitchers got was awful because Boris didn't play his hand right. So these guys kind of lost out. But someone like a Corbin Burns and stuff, if you're gonna be giving $30 to $40 million a year to pitch, you better expect him to be you. If you're the Yankees or the Mets, you better hope, or the Red Sox, those are the teams that are rumored to potentially get him. With that being said, if I'm signing you for $40 million, you damn best believe you better be pitching 6 innings. Do you think the Yankees signed Garrett Cole so he could pitch 5 innings a game? No. When he pitches, they expect him to go at least seven. That's what you paid him for all
You would
that
think
money.
so,
He's an
yeah. I
ace.
mean, you would think
You
so, but
know.
now with the way this game is run, they don't consider that a good start. I consider, that's like, oh, he's gonna be retired. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so used to not pitching so long. It's like, all right, the boss says that my time is here is done. And if you walk off that mound with the score on your side, then you did your job. Because everybody gets paid. I mean, not like him, but everybody gets paid to do their job. And then management says, you know what, that's it, you're done for the night. You can't blame the player for that. You can fight that all you want, but nobody wants to see that on camera. Nobody wants to see, the manager and a pitcher join at each other. Like it's bad for the game. I don't like it personally. It's like, all right, unless it's a situation like Blake Snell in those playoffs. When they pulled them and they end up losing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. You know, I don't know, but hopefully, it comes sooner than later, and I'm excited about that. Obviously, I want to see the AI be implemented prior to that. That's what they're working on now. I definitely want to see that in the majors. Don't get rid of the ump though. Keep the ump there.
No,
Let him
don't get
have
rid
the
of him.
earpiece and let him call it from his side. So this way we don't have to constantly look at a scoreboard or look at some signage on the. Nah, I don't want to look
Or
at none
video
of that stuff.
replay.
Exactly. I want the ump to call it so I can stay focused on the game and I can keep my eye on the pitcher and the batter. I don't want to be looking up at no scoreboard to see if it was a strike or not. I want the ump to call it, give him a little earpiece, he gets the message from upstairs, and then he calls the play on the field. That's how I want it. All right. So please, if anybody's listening, anybody that matters anyway, let's keep it at, somewhat traditional. You know what I'm saying?
So the way it worked in that game, in the Gwinnett game, the Stripers, it wasn't every pitch. It was mostly in situations where if it's like 2 outs and there's a potential for runs to be scored, and you know near the end of the game, it was basically in like situations where it was needed to be checked. If it's like
Gotcha.
2 outs and no one out, no one on, they're not gonna review the. They weren't gonna review the. They were just gonna go with what the umpire said. But there was like a man on second and third with less than 2 outs, and it's the eighth inning. That's that's what they should do, right? Umpire replay balls and strikes should be implemented starting from the sixth inning and on, because then that's when the game becomes more contentious and becomes more
No, no, but
riskier.
I mean, no. There's a in a playoff series, anything can happen in the first inning. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to
That's
deal with
true.
that and say, you don't want to have to say that. You don't want to have to say, damn, all right, the umps are calling it right now, and if he calls a bad one on me, you know what I'm saying? Then the game can completely change. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that all day. Let's talk about what happened yesterday, right? So who was on the mound? Who was pitching? I'm gonna tell you right now.
You're talking
Uh,
about for the Orioles?
Yes, yo, with the balk, right? The balk, Peterson, right?
Oh
Was it
yes,
Peterson? All right,
yeah,
so
that was a
Peterson
horrible
was
call.
pitching, right? I was there, right? So, I
That
had
was
a
the first
couple of
game,
in
right?
me. That was the first game, right? With the Alvarez walk
Yes,
off,
and then
but we're
Urias hit a home run. Yeah,
exactly. So we can talk about that a little later, but let's talk about the actual play. So for some reason, the decides to call a balk on Peterson. There's men on third that run comes in, right? So now I'm like, man, this sucks, right? Because you would never think that the next pitch after that would be a home run to the next guy. That was crazy to
yeah,
me. And the only reason why I feel that happened is because they got Peterson off his game after
yeah,
that call. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because he lost concentration. He's like he couldn't believe it. I'm pretty high up in the stands. Don't get it twisted. I'm in the promenade box in the 400 section. I love that seat because it's like true bird's eye view, but it's not too far up. So like you can really like overwatch what's going on the field. But you can tell by his body language that he wasn't happy with what the hell was happening. And then on top of that, the next pitch is a home run. So you say to yourself, "Damn, it would have been 2 runs anyway." Or you say they knocked him off his his game, and it caused this. That wouldn't happen with AI calling the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with replay, would you also include balks as a replay? Because the things with the balking that drives me nuts, it was not it was a subtle move. Why is a subtle move considered a balk? In my opinion, that was a subtle move. It should have not been a balk. Now, who knows if the guy would have hit a home run? Who knows? But it was not. It even if who knows? Like maybe Urias would have got out, and the next guy, who knows, would have been a
Yeah,
pop out, and the guy would have scored on a sac
exactly.
fly.
We're never gonna know. That's the thing about that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're never going to know. So that's
To
just
me,
what
it didn't look
happens.
like a balk, and I was like, what the heck kind of play was that?
Yeah, I didn't
And then
like
there was
it.
another play in today's game that really like went should have went the Mets way. It was when the guy, uh, I thought he struck out and he was going to strike out, throw him out, but they said it was a walk and both guys got on base. I was like, it should have been a strikeout, throw out. I forgot what it was. It was some horrible play by the umpire, in my opinion. But the Orioles should have had 2 outs and the inning should have ended, but they were
That's
granted
crazy. I mean, the same thing with the Nimmo catch. Did you get to catch that?
oh, he should have caught that one. In talking
Right.
about in the middle game, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, in the middle game. So
that's
now,
a
all right.
routine play.
So I watched the replay multiple times. I was there, right? But I watched it on my phone multiple times, and I can't really see the ball hitting the back there, the wall. I can't see it happen. I don't see it. I don't see it in
No,
the
I don't
replay.
think it went to the wall. It just trickled too far
Yeah,
up,
all right.
and
If that was the case, you would have never had that man on third. Because I watched the replay. Listen, I'm a Met fan, so like I'm not gonna. I saw the replay and I'm like, damn, did that ball hit the wall? Because if that ball hit the wall, then I can understand why they were saying that.
No, it veered to the left. It might have hit the sidewall, but it never went to the
All right, so
back
if
of
it
the
hit the
wall.
wall, then all right, so you deserve that man on third. You know what I'm saying? Because they were saying, pretty much that, if it hits the wall, then you're using the wall as a like a brace. Like it's like, oh, it's helping you. But no,
Uh,
if I don't think it hit the wall. I think he lost it and then he got it back. And it was awesome. It was fun to watch. But it's okay. We got murdered yesterday, and it shows you
we
who
won
they
the
are.
series. That's all that matters.
Yeah, they remind me of the Yankees back in the day when they had all that hitting and they had no pitching. So this is what's happening to you guys. You guys literally, we're gonna talk about that later because that's a big subject too. Like there's a lot of stuff that we have to
Yeah.
talk about. But that right there, like the fact that you lost another one, I don't even understand what's going on over there. But we'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. So yeah, like we said, they want to implement this new rule with the 6 innings. You can't leave the game unless you have four more earned runs or over 100 pitches, and obviously the injury. But I'm excited for that rule. I like all the new rules that are coming this way, and I'm excited. That's all I can say to that. And I'm an old head. Like listen, I love traditional baseball, but this makes the game just a tad better. That's just my opinion, but we're gonna we're gonna continue. Like we have to understand a lot of rules have been implemented recently, and like the pitch clock. I don't mind the pitch clock. I don't mind it at all. I like it. The shift. You know what? It's a little weird now that we've been working with the shift for so long, and now they took it away. But you know what? It makes baseball better. Because a nice hit right up the middle where you can't make it because you were forced to start at a certain position. Man, listen, I like it. The bases being bigger, and the limit on the pickoff throws, I like it. Tell me, Lashi, do you like all of those new rules or what?
Yes, the only rule I don't like is the man on second, the Manfred man on second overtime. It's just stupid. I think you
Listen,
should go to the first 3 innings. First 3 extra innings should be no man on second. After that, after the 13th inning, then you should put the man on second.
no,
That's
listen,
fine, but
I
make it
understand
more
what you're saying.
challenging because
No,
it's
but
just an
listen,
easy win.
yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but it's not an easy win because you still have to hit, brother. And
That's
explain
true.
something. And you know what I like about the rule? The fact that they don't implement that into the postseason. That is my
That is
favorite
a
part
good thing.
about that.
Yes,
You know what I'm
I
saying? So
agree.
they know what they're doing. It's like, all right, we're gonna speed up these regular games because it's gonna deplete the bullpens. It's gonna cause problems, and but during a playoff situation, nah, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. But I'm okay with the man on second during a regular season game. I am, because it's a different way of playing chess, though. Because you have to worry about that one hit scores that run. You know what I'm saying? So now this bullpen has to go all out. This is what they get paid for.
Yeah,
Because you don't want them to get that run. From second, it's right there. One hit gets that run right in, and that's how serious it is. It's very real serious. But I like the way I feel like home field advantage works really well in that situation as well because you know what you're working with. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing in golf. When you're playing from behind because you're losing, you get to see if you're the leader in that pack. You get to see what everybody else does prior to you,
yeah.
and it's pretty much that's what it is. Having home
Well,
field
yeah, because
advantage in that situation is great.
yeah, the home team has the greater advantage. The away team has more pressure because you automatically know you got to score a minimum of 2 runs
Yeah,
if you have a
exactly.
chance. If you score one
Exactly.
run, you're it's over.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's
Yeah,
not enough.
yeah. It's just like so.
It's good though. It's a different way of
It puts
looking at the game.
pressure.
A lot of
It does
pressure.
put pressure on the
That's
away
not, that's not-
team, not the home team.
yeah, the away team. It puts pressure on the away team. It's true. It's like we'll look that up. Next week I promise you that we'll have the stats for that. But right now there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Man, this is gonna be a good podcast. It's been a great one already, but it's gonna be even better because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So now we're done with the new rules. That was the big theme of the episode today. because I think it's interesting, it's new, and it's exciting to me, but we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be great. So now, this wild card situation in the National League, it's frustrating for me. Obviously, I mean, you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. No matter what happens from this point on, I'm pretty sure you'll make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah,
guys
right
are
now we have a
high up
3 game lead.
there, and then if you happen to fall a little bit, you end up winning that wild card and knocking somebody out because you're way better than those teams. So you're gonna be okay. And whatever happens, happens. But I believe that the Baltimore Orioles will definitely be in the postseason this year. Now, the thing in the National League is very frustrating because a month ago the Mets were sitting on top of that wild card, and it almost looked like we were able to like maybe surpass the Phillies and catch up to them. That's how good it was looking out here for the Met fans. But now we're looking in, and we've been looking in for over a week now. I must say, at least, because I look this stuff up every morning, almost, and and it's crazy. I hurt myself this way. Like you said the other day, when your team is losing, it's not such a beautiful day out there. It's kind of weird, but we let stuff like that affect us. But we're junkies, I guess. It's better to be a sports junkie than a
Then
crackhead.
a crack junkie.
Exactly. See, we were thinking the
Yeah,
same
like I said,
exact thing.
baseball is that's a good thing about baseball. It's ebbs and flows. You live by the moment because every game matters. It's not like football where all right, I got a week to decompress the loss or the win or enjoy the win. And baseball and hockey, it's the next day. That you just same thing with basketball. You lose, all right, we play it tomorrow. You know what I mean? And this just the way it is. And when they win tomorrow, if the Orioles win tomorrow, I'll be as heck. If the Mets lose tomorrow, you'd be pissed as shit. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man, but these two teams, as always, like for the last 20 years, I can remember as a kid, the Atlanta Braves were always better than the Mets, and they always knew how to knock us out. And that's how it is. It's just how it works. Like, we play with fear. I don't know what it is about those guys, but they're so injury plagued right now that it's insane. I don't want to,
Oh, the
say I
Braves,
said,
yeah.
yeah, the Braves, yeah. So like they just lost Austin Riley, for the rest of the regular season with a broken right hand. So it's getting pretty crazy out here. He was hit with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball from Los Angeles starter Jack Kokonowitz. I don't know. Hopefully, I did that right in the first inning. And yeah, but he's out of here. And these guys, I think they just recently got back Ozzy Albies. He was out for a while. Kuna's out. They have a lot of problems over there. But they started off on a high note, so they're still battling. And we started off on a low note, and we tried to figure it out. You know, along the way, and now we're fighting for this last slot. When Atlanta was holding that first slot for such a long time, but the injuries over and over again. They have bad luck, but they're still battling, they're still fighting, and it's pretty crazy because the Mets just finished having a horrible, you know, away
Road trip. And they
road
gotta go back
trip.
on the road. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it's even harder this time around. So we came back home and we were horrible out there, and the story was, all right, we lost three in a row because we got swept by Seattle, right? And now we're coming back home and we have to play the Oakland Athletics, brother. And I'm like, all right, this should be pretty easy, but they have a lot of young guys over there. They got rid of a lot of their talent, and Mike, what was his name? Matt Olson went to the Braves, and they moved around a lot of pieces, and they're really good now. They're not the same athletics that they were, half a season ago. Now they're a different ball club. You can kind of see what's happening over there. It's that kind of story. So we end up playing these guys, and we end up getting, you know, being the losers of a series against the A's. I don't even understand that. That made me sick to my stomach. I was like, especially after that horrible West Coast trip. We needed to come back and we ended up losing the first one to those guys, and we ended up losing four in a row. And I'm like, well, here we go. Season's over now. But for some reason, no, we kept fighting and we kind of like figured it out. This stand was weird too because like I said, we lost the first series to the A's, and I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. That just sounds crazy to me.
So yeah, you guys finished a homestand at 4-4, 8 game homestand. But yeah, losing 2 out of 3 to Oakland's like what the heck. And
You know,
then
no. After that,
you guys looked dominant against the Mets, and then they lost that last game against the Mets, and then looked dominant again against the Orioles. So
no, but yeah, this series is
inconsistent.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because then we played Miami and we took 2 out of 3 from them, and
Yeah.
then which was like I was like, okay, so now we're what 3-3, and then we go into the Baltimore series, and this Baltimore series was very very important because it was
It
a
was a good test
nine-game
for the
homestand.
Mets.
It was a good test for the Mets, and what's crazy? All right, I understand you guys are, you guys the same with the Braves. It's funny how both of your teams have really really had problems with their rotation. But we're gonna talk about that rotation in a second and how bad it is for you guys, But let's continue talking about how we played Baltimore. Like I was scared. I was like, you know what, this is it right here because playing Baltimore, then after that going into San Diego and then going to Arizona. Those three series are the pivotal moments in this season for the Mets. All right. If we can't stay afloat after those three series and we can't show these big teams, because obviously we were unable to show Seattle what we're capable of. And that pissed me off. But it's okay. But getting swept by them was really bad. All right, because we came back like what 4-6. So we won four, we lost six from that horrible West Coast trip. And then today we ended up this homestand, what was it? 5-4? Something like that, right?
Well, this homestand you went 4-4. It was an eight
No,
game
no, no. We
homestand.
didn't go 4-4. It was a 9-game homestand. We played the Athletics for three,
You
right?
play
Then we
Oakland
played,
three, one, two,
and then we played the
three.
Marlins for three, and then we played the Orioles for three. So we went,
Oh, nine. Okay, so you went five and
yeah,
four.
5-4, five and
That's good.
four. Yeah, because we won one against the Athletics, right? We won two against the Marlins, and we
And two
won
against the
two
Orioles.
more. Yeah, so 5-4 on this homestand. It's not great, but you know what? At least we know we show some fight, and we're still in it. We're still in it. That's all I can say. We're still in it, and that makes me feel good. Right now the Atlanta Braves are playing the Phillies, and I don't want to get too happy, but right now it's the bottom of the seventh with no outs, and the game is tied 2-2. Last I
Yeah.
left it, prior to our, starting the episode, it was 2-0 Braves. We need, right now the Met fans are Philly fans. Let's just keep it, let's keep it real. We're Philly fans because we need Atlanta to lose. A game like today, listen, we played the Baltimore Orioles, and it was the first game was a tight one, but once the Orioles, I'm like, it's the tie ball game. This is the Orioles all the way because the Mets for some reason they hit hard in the beginning of the game and then they just stop hitting altogether, or they hit all night and they score some ridiculous number like 12. But when we're not hitting, it's not pretty. And when it was tied, I was like, well, we lost this one, but at least we kept it close. But then that walk off in the bottom of the ninth, amazing. In the second night, I was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. These guys hit the ball and they know how to score runs. And then today, it was pretty crazy. Alvarez with the bottom. I mean, excuse me. It wasn't Alvarez. It was Winker.
Yeah, Jesse Winker.
Winker.
From the Nationals, they got
Yeah,
him
the
in the trade.
national. Yeah, the trade. The Winker hit a walk off, and it was pretty crazy. Alvarez on the first night, and Winker on the third.
It's
And
crazy because, what do you call Lindor was up next, and he had already hit a home run. I was like, they're gonna walk him, so it'd been man on first and second, no outs. Oh, that's crazy. But
no, I saw it. I saw it too. I was like, this is the part of the lineup where it should happen. And you have to understand that you guys have bases loaded with no outs, and we're
mm,
barely able to scratch off a run, and that run tied the game. And that's when I said, game over once again. And I was wrong. It was pretty amazing. We got out of that, and we were able to win the game. And you know what? It was a scrappy win, and this is what happens when two good teams get together and they battle it out. I feel like our pitching is a little better than yours right now at the moment.
Yes, definitely.
Right now at the moment, for some reason, like everybody's doing really well except for Quintana for some reason. Quintana's having problems, but hopefully he figures it out. But I think our pitching is pretty good. The problem is the hitting. It's not consistent. Well, for a while the Lindor was, but it's not consistent at all. Nemo hasn't been hitting for a while now. He's been sitting a couple of games, which is good. I like that. I like that they know that we noticed, so something has to be done. He needs rest, he needs something, he needs to work on his mechanics, whatever it is, but you have to sit the guy out. He's not hitting the ball. Why you still have him there? McNeil hasn't been playing, you know, all the games either, and I like that too. Giving him a break. He changes up his ways of batting and getting on base. He's hitting the ball a lot harder now, and the ball sprays and it goes where it goes. But he's getting luckier with that than he was with the contact hitting. So I'm gonna leave him alone for now. He's hitting home runs. I'm just saying, let's see what happens. But it's pretty crazy.
Vientos too. He's been doing
Vientos
well.
too. Vientos is great, man. Listen, I was talking about Vientos the other day, and my one of my boys, he's like, well, what do you think about Beatty? I said, Beatty lost his job. Beatty had
That's what I
plenty of
was just
opportunity.
gonna say. He's
He
gone.
had plenty of opportunity, and he failed. And when he first came up, I'm like, okay, he's not getting the at bats. He's sitting on the bench. So why keep him up here? Might as well keep him down there where he can hit every day.
Yeah.
But they sent him back down after that because obviously they thought he wasn't producing. You can't produce from the bench, you know.
So I
But
have a
they
question for you.
go ahead.
Now that Mauricio comes back in the fall, in the wintertime, or next spring, whatever, is Vientos your third base, and who's your second baseman?
Mc-
Mauricio, or what's because he's also a
Uh,
third baseman.
yeah. Well, we're gonna have to figure something out there left field because McNeil is a true left fielder, so he plays right as well. So they're gonna have to figure something out. We're not keeping Marte. Marte's going for a walk after the season, so maybe we can put McNeil in right and you put Mauricio on second. So then you have whoever's gonna be on first because I'm not gonna mention that guy's name right now. And because I have a lot of negative things to say about that guy this week. So let me explain something to you. So if you have whoever's gonna play first, and then you have Mauricio on second, Lindor at short,
Alonso,
Vienz. Excuse me, we're not talking about that guy right now. This is the guy
the
that
polar bear.
struck out looking after having a 3-0 count. Okay, I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about that guy.
that was crazy. I was like, "What are you doing? You should just taking a walk."
I don't know what that guy's doing, but we don't want to talk about that guy. We don't want to talk about that guy. That guy needs to go. We don't need to spend that kind of money on a first baseman. I'm pretty sure that first baseman is in the basement. And all we have to do is dust them off and bring them right upstairs. You know what? Because I see that we have options down there, but we're not using them. But next year, hopefully, things change. Like I said, Mauricio on second, Lindor at shortstop, Vientos on third, and my man Alvarez behind the plate. That shit is beautiful. Oh, excuse my language. That is a beautiful infield. And I don't even know who's gonna play first, and I still think that's a beautiful infield. You know,
Well, the nice thing about Players Space is that you can get whoever's free agent. I think Mountcast on the Orioles, he might be a free agent. You get someone like him for fairly cheap, and he's pretty productive. So someone like that, a placeholder until you have someone in the main either, or since you got the money, if there's a true first baseman besides Alonso that you really want, then you can go after him. So
that is true. This is gonna be a very interesting, off season. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. Obviously, everybody's gonna be waiting for the Soto thing to happen, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen at the last moment. So, you know, I wouldn't buckle up for that one. It's a short ride. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna happen at the end with like 2 days left. It's not gonna be, it's gonna be like that. He's gonna have you looking in the, on your ESPN applications every single day, and it's not gonna happen till like the last moment. So don't worry about that for
I
now.
don't know. Like all these players that wait till the last minute, they didn't get their money, so I don't know if he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do that.
but he's gonna get his money. It's just a matter of who's gonna give it to him and whether or not he's willing to play for them. You know,
I see.
that's what I see. Listen, the Mets could offer him $6 billion, right? And I'm just throwing out a stupid number, just to say. And the Dodgers could offer him $4 billion, and he'll go with the Dodgers because he knows that he's gonna fill his fingers up, with a lot of rings, bro.
Well,
And
that doesn't always mean you're gonna win a chip.
no, no, it doesn't mean that, but think about it. Think about it. Where do you have the best shot of winning a championship, especially after Otani having the
Well,
year he's having now? And on top of that,
yeah,
he's going back to pitching next year, so that even makes the rotation even better,
yeah,
right? They had a couple of injuries as well, right? So that means they're going to be even better than that, right? And then you have Freeman, and you have all these animals on the field, Mookie Betts,
Will Smith,
Will
Betts is
Smith.
back.
All right, listen,
Max
you're going to have,
Muncy.
all right, and imagine adding a Soto to that, all right? You got a serious problem. I don't want to sound like Stephen A. Smith right now because I sound like I'm angry and I'm stating facts, but think about that. You're gonna play for the Mets or you're gonna play for the Dodgers? Talking about a $2 billion difference that doesn't make a difference in this guy's, bank account. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I don't
you
know.
tell
Unless
me.
Baltimore comes out of nowhere, because now they got Rich owners, who they're like, hey, let's go. But I don't think they're gonna
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. You know what? Imagine if they did. Not only
Oh
would
my
that be a
gosh.
sucker punch to the Yankees, all right, that would
Yeah,
make you even more of a problem, all right. So this guy's 25 years old, all right. You have to understand that he has at least a good six left in him, and if he's gonna hit anywhere like he's hitting now, anybody that has $2 in their pocket are gonna try to get that guy, all right.
yeah.
Though he's gonna break a record. I think that especially now with this deferred BS, teams that don't even have money are gonna try to get Juan Soto. You
So
understand
you're
what I'm
telling
saying?
me, right? Let's just create a dumb scenario. You're telling me that the Chicago White Sox come in and say, all right, we'll give you 10 billion. What is it? What is it? 10? No, what is it? Let's say they can say we'll give you 800 million contract. You think he's gonna
Okay.
shine with Chicago? Heck no, he's not gonna play.
For
They
what?
give him the most money.
For $1 billion?
No, for $800,000 or
All
eight
right, that's
hundred
800.
million,
Okay, so
like
for a
the
bit.
Otani money.
Okay, so this guy's gonna get more than that. All right, I just think that he's gonna
Yeah,
get
that's
more
why I
than
said
that.
800.
He's gonna get
Otani
no a
got
billion,
700.
$1 billion, $1 billion.
Let's just
Nah,
say,
he's not
yeah.
gonna. Let's just say because if this guy got half, this guy's gonna
You
get
think he?
more. He's a difference maker. No matter where he goes, he's a serious difference maker. He changes everything. All right, he's the guy that you don't want to pitch to. So if you have the right players and you place them properly, you're gonna be scoring a lot of runs. Okay, and then when they make mistakes, he
Mm-hmm.
takes advantage. All right,
Yeah,
if
he
any,
does.
so yes, he makes a big difference, and I think that teams that don't even have the money right now are gonna try to sneak in to that situation, and they're gonna try to offer him some type of ridiculous money that's gonna make him say, "Damn, let me think about it." Or is he about? Let me see how many rings I can, get. Like what is he thinking right now at the age of 25? Is he arrogant or is he smart? He's already going to the Hall of Fame. Okay, so let's not
Yes.
even talk about that. All right, if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame, nobody should. All right, and he's doing that already at the age of and the story starts with at the age of 19, he won his first championship, and then the story goes from there. All right, and I'm sorry, but this guy's gonna command serious money, and he's gonna get it, and nobody's gonna be shy about how much they want him by showing them their checkbooks. But if you have any more thoughts on that, I know you do. and I don't want you to say I already heard you when you said, "Oh, you picture him in your lineup in the Baltimore Orioles lineup." Well, I can picture him in mine as well. All
Yeah,
right,
I
he
think
fits in.
I think
Go ahead.
New York is the team. It's gonna be the three teams that's gonna come down to the two New York teams or the Dodgers. That's the only place I see him playing. He didn't like it in San Diego, so you know he's not gonna go back there. He loved Washington, but Washington's rebuilding. He's not gonna go back there. Baltimore is a very young team. He's probably not gonna go there. It's gonna take a while before they get really, really good. Who knows? Their window could be closing. Who knows? They don't have the pitching. But so with that being said, the Yankees, the Dodgers, I can't. Yeah, those are it, and the Mets. Those are the only two teams
Nah,
that I
I can't
could
even see them.
potentially
I can't.
see,
I
or
like
maybe
him in.
Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a or
Okay,
yeah,
you know
Philadelphia's
what?
a
Now,
contender
you
too.
know what? They wouldn't do that because it's not. It's gonna take them too long to figure it out. Because if they don't win it this year, then they don't have it. They're getting really old, and I think that they're gonna have to figure out what's going on over there. And their window is closing really fast. You know, they've had a lot of injuries, but they were lucky because a lot of those injuries didn't come at the same time, and they weren't out as bad as Atlanta and you with the pitching. You know,
Yeah,
but they were out. A lot of them. There's it's an older, roster, and they're having those problems. But once you get them into the postseason, you know how that rejuvenates everybody. It's like, let's go. Now we're in a different time zone. It's that kind of feel. It's like, okay, we want to kill. So
you
that's
know
what's
who's
gonna happen.
you know who sort of reminds me of without the baggage. He reminds me of when the Mets were going when they had to when they decided to resign Yoenis Cespedes. He's got the power. He's got the fame. He just sort of just doesn't have the baggage. That's what it would remind me of
Yeah,
if they do
yeah, no,
sign
you're
Soto.
right. You're right. That threat, but not. But Soto is even more of a threat. He's a scary at bat. He even knows that he's like a villain when he comes up at bat. It's like it's me versus you, and guess what? I'm better than you, and that's what he's telling the pitcher. And it's always crazy because in baseball, I've always known this as a child that the pitcher always has the advantage. You
Yeah,
can throw anything that you think this guy is gonna whiff at. Like I don't even understand how batters get a hit most of the time. Cause I'm like, this guy is supposed to be able to eviscerate this batter. You know how easy it is to deceive somebody when you're throwing something. It doesn't even have to be hard, but if you're throwing it with mastery and you're locating the pitch and you're switching speeds, how is this guy even hitting against you? It's crazy to me. The pitcher
yeah,
in this sport has always had the advantage.
yeah. No, I agree.
But it still happens though, and it's almost weird. It's alien like. It's like, how is this guy hitting anything that this guy's throwing when I could deceive you? I can play with your mind. I can throw you a 90-mile-per-hour slider and you don't swing because you don't really know where it's going. And then I throw you a 60-mile-per-hour curveball, and then really have you like, what is going on? Am I going to commit to this next pitch? Because you have nothing but seconds to commit to a pitch before it completely unfolds. So like it's a crazy sport, bro. I think that it's one of the greatest sports of all time. It's very challenging. People don't see it that way, but it's very hard to hit a pitch. Coming from a guy and you don't even know what he's thinking. You don't even know what he's gonna throw to you. But you know what? It's super interesting. I feel like anybody can grab a ball and throw it through a hoop. Even if you're trash at basketball, you can still accomplish that. In
Yes,
a
that's
day.
true.
You know what I'm saying? You can say block this guy when you see the guy behind you running with the ball, so this guy doesn't get to that guy because that's the objective. Anybody on a given, I can block anybody if I wanted to. If you put your mind to it. I mean, sometimes the guy's bigger than you, but if we're talking about two guys that weigh 230 pounds, you're telling me to block him and stop him from getting the guy behind me with the ball, then you know what? I'm gonna be able to pull that off. But not all those guys aren't gonna be able to do the other thing, which is hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball and commit to it prior. to that ball getting halfway through, and that's seconds we're talking about. All right, and then that ball rolls down that grass that's beautifully cut, and it's running at even higher rates. Because if it was going 100, the guy hit it, and now it's going 113 miles an hour, and you have to stop that ball and throw it the first. You
Yeah.
know what? It's I don't know. It's pretty difficult, bro. Not easy. Not an easy sport. I love that sport. That's why we're doing this. But
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty crazy. Let's move on. All right, we're gonna talk
Yes.
about this Danny Jansen guy, which is hilarious because I don't even know who this guy is. I just read about him, and the funny thing about this guy is that the Red Sox and the Blue Jays they ended up postponing a game that started on June 26th. It's early innings, but the weather was coming down pretty bad, and Danny Jansen happened to be hitting for the Blue Jays at the time.
Oh, at the time of suspension.
No, no, he was hitting at the time. No, no, no. This is not the same guy from last week, bro. I know it sounds similar, but this is Danny Jansen we're talking about now. This is a different guy. So this guy used to play for the Blue Jays, right? And now he
Uh,
plays for the Red Sox. All right. But this game was postponed on June 26th, right? Due to like some bad rain coming down. So at the time, he was at bat, right? But then he got traded because the game is getting played this Monday. So he got traded to the Red Sox.
oh wow,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So now, guess what? The guy at bat when the game was
Resumed.
discontinued, right? When it was
Oh,
he
suspended.
was the guy at bat for the Blue Jays. Now he's a Red Sox, so they're gonna have to substitute him, obviously. So he's gonna be the first person ever to have his name in the box score
For two
on
different
both
teams
sides.
in the same game.
Exactly. How
That's
crazy is
hilarious.
that?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, right?
Baseball is one of the sports you cannot make. Baseball is so weird. Yeah,
So yeah,
you
so
wouldn't have
they
that. You wouldn't have that. Think about it, you wouldn't have that in a basketball game
I
unless
mean,
like yeah, unless like I got traded to the team they're playing the next night maybe, but even then that doesn't happen.
yeah, yeah, that's what happened. You know what's crazy? It happened to the Mets the other day too. That what's his name, Blackburn or whatever. Blackburn, I
For
believe.
athletics, that's right.
Yes, he was playing the Angels, right? Right, the week before he was the starting pitcher
As
for
a
them
Oakland pitcher.
as an Oakland pitcher, right? And then a week later, right, he gets traded and it's his turn to pitch again. And guess what? He's in the same exact park against the Angels once again in a Mets
Wow,
uniform, which is pretty
that's
crazy
crazy.
too.
Yeah,
But it's not as crazy as this guy having his name on both sides of the fuck. Excuse my language of the box score. It's pretty
it's cool.
crazy. It is
Yeah,
cool, right? So yeah, I thought that was cool too. I thought that we needed to bring that up on the pod real quick.
yeah. So I was wondering because I saw I was like, why is this game suspended? And I looked to see like, is it raining? Then it said it did rain, but I didn't know about the whole thing with the guys switching teams. But I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But like we spoke about the Mets and how we came out of there 5 out of 9 on a homestand. Isn't great, but the fact that we were able to beat the Orioles
You were
with
competitive in
two.
every game. That's all that matters. Even if you lose, even the game they lost.
Nah, we came back. We came back, but I was
Yeah,
there, bro, and it was ugly. Let me explain something to you. I already knew we were gonna lose that game. I was dying to get out of there. It was a cold night. It's starting to get cold at City Field already.
yeah. I heard
So
it's like 58 degrees this morning.
yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
That's crazy.
So it's starting to get really cold at City Field already, and it's August, and we can start to smell that postseason, weather coming around, and hopefully we're in it. And man, I would love it. I think this team is pretty scrappy. I think the pitching is really good, and like I said, if we make the postseason, I've said it before, we're gonna be dangerous. We're gonna be dangerous. I think something's gonna spark, and we're gonna we're gonna hit the ball. Well, we all know that we're capable of doing that because we've done it multiple times over the season, and we've done it against good teams. Look what we did to the Yankees. Look what we did to a lot of good teams. And I just want to say that if we make the postseason, we're gonna be pretty dangerous. It's gonna be a long road, because we're gonna have to fight a lot of teams going into it. Because we're gonna be that last slot in the wild card, so that's a lot of baseball. But I think we're scrappy enough to, play from the back end and work our way all the way up to the front. And whoever's up there, we're gonna give them a nice little fight. I don't think we're able to win it, but I think you guys are. Baltimore, even though you don't have any pitching, I think you still can pull it off. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, see, the Mets, you know what the Mets are? The Mets are one of those teams where they would benefit more from being a wild card team than division winner because they're riding such a good momentum. So if you
Yes,
give them a long week off, it might mess up the mojo and the momentum. So a team like the Mets would do thrive in a wild card role than a division role. You know what I mean?
I agree. Oh my God! So I just want to, give these Met fans out here a little bit of,
Yes, I was watching the game.
yeah, it's 3-2 now, Phillies, right?
Yep,
The end of the eighth. So 3 outs, and the Mets will move up one more slot.
half a game. Yeah,
No, a whole game,
a whole game. Okay.
a whole game. Yeah, bro, a whole game. It's not. Don't take anything away from us. The whole game.
And then we played the Mets right one more time in here in Atlanta. I think
Yes.
right near the end of
So
the
there was
season.
a game that was postponed when we first went out
That's
there, I
right.
believe. So it was supposed to be a 2 game series. Now it's a three
No,
game series,
three.
and it's
Okay.
gonna be super interesting because we need these games, and it's gonna come down to that. And not only that, we have to play the Phillies 7 times, 2 series, 1-4 and 1-3, and we have to play those guys. And like I
One in
said,
Philly and one in New York.
uh, I believe so. I think the 4 game is at over there. Let me
Let's
double
see.
check that. But it's gonna be interesting. That's like I said, we're gonna decide our own fate. If we play well against these big teams, then we deserve to be there.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, then you know what? We don't deserve to be there. That's basically how it works. We don't
But
deserve to
even
be
if you don't get there, you have to feel real good because now you know next year. Because this is 25 was the year they said they're going all in. So if that's the case, and you get Soto, oh my gosh, you're going to be riding a great momentum going into the 25th, 25 season. So
Of course. I agree, but season ain't over for us yet, and I like that, because I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a season like this. I'm still going to games. You know, I have tickets, so I got 45 tickets for 11 games, right? And I have
postseason or
for
regular
this for the
season.
rest of the season. Yeah,
Oh,
right
nice.
now in hand, I have 45 tickets. I have 4 tickets to each of these 11 games. For one of them, I have 5 tickets, and they're in a really good section. So I'm gonna, capitalize on that for sure. I get off at the perfect time to jump on the train and get there and be able to watch the game. My dad is coming back into town in a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna make sure he's at those games, and I'm gonna, have a couple of friends join us. But
Oh,
I
that'd be
have
fun.
I have the Philly series. So I have one of the yeah, actually the Philly series is gonna be the next one coming up is gonna be at home. And then the next one after that I believe is away. But obviously that's how it works. But yeah, because I have tickets to that. I have 8 tickets to I think the first 2 games of that series. And I believe I'm
Nice.
working one of them, so I'm gonna be there for that whole series. I'm gonna make sure of that. And then I have
Oh,
a
you'll work one, go
Cincinnati.
two.
Yeah, I have the Cincinnati series coming up. I have um, a national series coming up, and I have a Red Sox series coming up as well. So I have like I said, I have a lot of tickets, and I'm about to, enjoy that. Because if we're gonna play it out, let's play it out. Let's see what happens. I'm still excited about this team. I think we have a slight shot, and you know what? I'm gonna run with that little shot. It's gonna be fun. But you guys, I don't know what to say about you guys. You guys, you had, you know, that rough series against the Mets. I'm happy. Listen, you guys are gonna be in the postseason no matter what. We're fighting for something, and we needed to, we didn't show you who's boss. We scraped out of that, but we survived it. We threw the last punch, and I like that about this scrappy team. But you guys just lost Zach Eflin for 15 days due to shoulder inflammation, right? You
Mm-hmm.
guys have been going through so much. And the funny thing about Eflin is you just acquired him from the Rays in the
Yeah.
July trade deadline.
He's
Like
been
it's
4-0.
and he's been exactly. I was just about to tell you that with an amazing ERA in four starts, 4-0, 2.13 in four starts. All right. And prior to that, he had 19 starts with Tampa Bay before heading to Baltimore. So this guy's a workhorse. Look, he goes down as well. Like you start to wonder what's going on over there, right? So he's joining Bradish, Means, Wells. They're all out for the season due to elbow
Grayson
surgery.
Rodriguez.
Grayson Rodriguez, like this is pretty crazy. And you guys you have such an amazing team that you're able to win games without the pitching because you guys I look at the lineup and I'm like, damn, we have to worry about these three here in a row, and then there's a couple of regular guys in the middle, and then you have to start worrying again towards the end of the lineup, and then it wraps back around, and I'm like, oh my god, this is a seriously dangerous lineup. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
there, I was watching it, and you guys are scary. You guys are scary. I like your team, but you know what? I'm a Met fan first. I'm a Met fan first. So listen, right now, Yankee fans were Met fans, for the last 3 days. That's over now. Now we're Philly fans because we want Atlanta to lose. Like this is how it's going down. It's going down to the nitty gritty. But like I said, Baltimore's already in it. The Mets are fighting, so we're scoreboard watching. It is what it is. Listen, I'm happy. We're going places. But you guys have, like I said, a lot of injuries. And I can't even imagine what it feels like. You know how good you
Yeah.
guys would be
No,
if
I
you had all that pitching?
yeah, the pitching. Well, now they have to plug in holes with Irvin just came with the guy that pitched today for Baltimore. He did all right. Minus the Lindor home run. He actually pitched decent. He pitched the right pitch. It's just Lindor got a good hold of it. It's just but other than that,
Yeah.
he did all right
And you
for
know
a
what's
spot
funny?
start.
Eflin was supposed to pitch today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he had pitched, who knows? Maybe Baltimore. Who knows, man? But the
No,
problem is they didn't score runs when they need to. So if you
no.
can't score
That
runs when you
bases
need to,
loaded
then
situation, yeah,
yeah,
I thought that was
it's
crazy to me. That was crazy. I was like, game over.
you want to hear an interesting stat? When the Baltimore Orioles score less than three runs or less, they're 8-36. So that just tells you
Yeah, yeah,
they're
that's pretty
notorious for
crazy.
scoring runs, but when they don't score runs, you have a good chance of beating them. That's what happened. But in both games that they lost both games 4-3. Bottom ninth, both walk offs. It's just that you can't write that. That's why baseball is crazy. You know.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. It's
But
pretty
hey, it's what
crazy.
it is. Like I say, was I mad? Yeah, at the moment, but it's what it is. I was more mad at the offense than the pitching because you know just like your team, you know what your flaws are in your team, and you know what the strengths are in your teams. So when the strengths don't show up when it should, that's when you get mad. At least that's the way I am.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like for example,
But
like with Diaz, like Diaz should be lights out. So when he doesn't perform well, you're pissed off because you know that's one of your lockdown. Like you know when he's gonna come in, there's a good chance you're
yeah,
gonna
you
win.
need that. Yeah, you need to be sure of what's coming in. It's like with our bullpen, it's been shaky. But now with Budo there, I love Budo. I love Budo from the beginning. I was like, this kid has something. And now
Yeah,
he's
he
coming in
struggled a
from
little
the.
bit,
Yeah,
but
he
he
did.
did
He
well.
struggled a little bit, but now from the bullpen, it's like he's a true starter. So he's coming in with this energy. He's like, man, I could throw 100 pitches right now. But you know what? He knows how to locate and he knows how to pitch, and I like that about that kid. And we need him in the bullpen. It's crazy. It's kind of like when the Mets moved Lugo to the bullpen and then they forgot about him. But I think that Budo will become a starter next year, and he will be fighting during spring training for that position. I think he
Yeah,
wants to be part of that 5 man rotation. Now with Peterson, Peterson has solidified himself as a true starter. It took him a while to figure it out, but I'm really proud of Peterson right now. And obviously, we'd be pretty stupid not to try to re-sign Severino. I think that,
yeah, he's been a great performance. I've been
yeah,
really impressed by him because I
definitely.
listened to the Yankees bar, ESPN and the radio's talk show, and one of the hosts is the Yankee announcer, and he even said like the Yankees let him go because they felt like he had nothing left in the tank, and the Mets were like, all right, we'll scoop him up. Is what, a 1 year deal? Let's see what
1 year
happens.
deal. Yeah, 1 year
And
deal.
they took their bid, and it's great, because now he might get a contract out of the Mets. All right, we'll give you a 3 year deal next.
Yeah,
Who knows?
exactly. That's what I'm looking at. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see how management works that. But I'm definitely interested in that. We'll be talking about that during the off season. And I'm excited about that too because I think he deserves his money. I think he deserves to be
Yeah,
there for another year. I think he did great. And he was a pivotal piece to this puzzle. And I feel like if you make the postseason, he should definitely be starting game one. And that's life changing. Somebody that, you know, wasn't wanted by what everybody thinks is the best. It's like getting fired
mm-hmm.
from the job when, you're like, I really didn't do anything wrong, but you guys think I'm not good enough anymore. And, everybody wants to play for the Yankees. I mean, listen, I don't like the Yankees, but I understand why everybody wants to play for them. Everybody's willing to cut their mustaches off and trim them a certain way and cut their hair to play for this team. It's a opportunity of a lifetime for all these players. It's pretty crazy. That's just how they see it. I don't see it that way, but I understand it though. I understand it. I'm not saying I'm an idiot. I understand it.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure if I was a ball player, I'd play for the Yankees. That'd be
yeah,
cool. From Jersey, well, you're from New York. How cool would that be? Play for the Mets or the Yankees?
yeah,
That'd be
exactly. I
kind of cool.
prefer to play for the Mets. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh,
But
of course.
we were just speaking about Severino, and we gave our award this week to Severino. Gunslinger of the week.
Yes, he
And
definitely earned it, man. He had a
yeah,
shutout, almost a perfect game against Miami on
yeah,
Saturday.
yep. It was pretty crazy. And he went 9 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, and 8 Ks. You can't beat that. This guy had two horrible starts prior to that, and then he comes back and he does this. To let people know I'm still here. I'm still here. And I'm not saying that it was against the greatest team, but I'm saying it's still hard to do. They're professional players, and nobody wants to go down like
Yeah,
that. And listen, I hope that we snatch him up for a couple of more years. I think he's doing well. I'm not saying that he's gonna have the same type of year he had this year, but you know what? If there's a chance of that happening, then please, by all means, let's get him back in this uniform. And hopefully that's what happens. So like with Peterson, Severino, Budo, and then I'm not sure what the the contract was. I'm pretty sure it was more than a year, so I'm pretty sure he'll be there. And then hopefully some guy comes back proper, and then we can look at the free agent market and see what happens. What's out there for us. Like we can figure this out. We can totally figure this out. But
yeah,
anyway,
man. I'm
uh,
watching just a quick update on that game.
talk
Bottom
to
of
me.
the ninth, 1 out, man on first and second for Atlanta, down by one, 3-2 Phillies.
Wow,
So
that's pretty
I'm watching the
crazy.
game. The new acquisition. So the just an update, transaction update. So because Riley got hurt, the Braves went and got Gio Urshela, he used to be on the Yankees third baseman. He's a
Yes,
great defender, but he doesn't have the power that Riley does. But I guess
that's
you
interesting.
can't have both, so they'll take it because it looks like Riley's out for the whole year.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's
So
interesting.
and Harris is up at bat with 1 out, man on first and second, and he just came back from the IL.
Oh man. And then we have our hit of the week, Davon Blanco, right? Versus
Yep,
Cincinnati on the same day,
Darian Polanco of the was it the yeah, he had a really good game.
right? And he went 3 for 5, 2 home runs, and had 7 RBIs, which is pretty insane. That's a
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good
what
game.
grabbed my attention. 7 RBIs. That's pretty impressive. I know Mountcastle, the Orioles did that last year, like 6 RBIs in one game. That's what you know. So, but yeah, he had
Pretty
a great
crazy.
game.
That is pretty crazy. But anyway, now we're gonna get to the interesting part of the show. You know, make sure we keep tabs on that Philly game. But now we're
Oh,
coming
I
to the
got it
part of the
going. No
show.
worries.
You keep it going, all right? Make sure that I know when the Mets move ahead tonight, okay? Because now I'm gonna hit you with some trivia, and the trivia for me now is getting like, at first I was looking up questions on, then
Is it
now I'm
easier?
asking. No, no, no. Now I'm asking myself questions, right? And then it goes from there, and then I figure out what I'm gonna ask you from there. So now, before, like I said, before I was looking up questions to try to trump you, and I'm like, all right, but now it's not even about looking up questions. Now it's about, what do I want to know? What could I ask Lasha? Let me see if Lasha knows this. It's a different flow now. So like, I'm really
Mm-hmm.
liking this segment of the show now. It's like it's a little different. So the longest hitting streak in baseball, brother, right? So Joe DiMaggio, he holds that record, right? He has 56 games. All right, and that's pretty crazy because I can't even think of a player right now that could probably go 56 in a row. That's a lot. All right, but Joe DiMaggio, yes, he was a Yankee and all that hot stuff, and yeah, he holds the record for that, right? So my question was, when I was trying to look up a question for you, I was like, damn, I wonder who has the longest hitting streak in this season. You know what I'm saying? So like, Brian Reynolds had the longest winning streak, right? In 2024 at 25 consecutive games of a hit. All right, so
Used to be
that's
on the
the
Diamondbacks, right, Brian? No, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
yeah. So this exactly, this guy he held the record this year for 25 games. He has it right now, right? That's this year. That's a lot of games. He did his thing now. So the question is, who do you think has the longest streak right now at the moment?
On base streak or
Like a hit streak right
oh
now
the
at the
current hit
moment.
streak?
Yeah, current hit
Ooh,
streak right now at the moment. Because we've been watching the season, we've been keeping tabs on a lot of good players, and I want to see if you have even an idea. There's five of them, all right. So let me see if you can nail one, and then after you nail that player, I want you to tell me how many games you think he went in a row. So you have
ooh,
five this season.
longest streak. Let me figure out.
Right now, as we speak, these guys have a streak running. Right now, as we speak, because like I said, Brian Reynolds this year, well, he went 25 games in a row. But right now, at the moment, there are
What?
five guys that are still playing with that streak.
My one guess would be L.A. De La Cruz on the Reds.
You're wrong. Strike one.
Oh, game's over. Phillies win 3-2.
Congratulations, Met fans. We're one step closer to the postseason.
This is gonna be fun, man. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody says. The last month is always the most
yeah,
exciting.
it's gonna be exciting. Now let's get back to this trivia. Stop playing with me. So
So,
strike one on that Ellie De La Cruz business.
oh man. All right. Let me see. Juan Soto.
Strike two.
It's probably someone that
To
is
that
not a
guy.
big name and he doesn't hit for power. He just know
That's not
he's
true. There's a couple of them in here that you would know.
that would know.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking, yo, you know a lot, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
Let me
couple
see.
of
Let me
names
see.
here that I'm like, I don't know. Actually, there's a couple of guys here that you know. At least
That
I know
should
for
know.
sure that you know three of them. You definitely know three of them, and
Oh,
the other two
Judge, because he gets
negative.
walked a
That's
lot.
strike three. You're out. So Connor
Oh, jeez.
Wong, which I know you don't know because I
Oh,
don't
the
know him.
Indians. Yes.
No, he plays. No, he plays for the Red Sox.
Oh, oh, Wong. Okay.
Yeah, so 15 games in a row. That's what he's fighting with right now. All right, Profar from the Padres has a
Padres. I forgot about
yeah
him. He's having great.
13 games right now at the moment. Jonathan India, the Cincinnati Reds. It's funny because I heard rumors that he wanted to play for the Mets, but we didn't jump on that. So he has a 12-game hitting streak right now at the moment. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, right? And
Yeah.
this guy, your doppelganger, Bryce Harper,
Oh, good
ha-
old Bryce.
has 12 games going.
I'm
12
guessing he got on
games.
base today, so that's 13.
That's probably 13 now. I'm gonna look it up right now. And Yanier Diaz, Houston Astros, you know him too. He has a 10-game hitting streak right now as we speak.
Wow.
That's pretty
That's
crazy,
pretty
right?
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I stumped you too.
But you know what's gonna happen. Oh, we need a rest day, and then that's how the streak lose. It's stupid. Analytics said we should rest him, even the guy's playing hot. So what if
Well,
streaks are good for anymore? It's just annoying. That's another thing I hate. If the guy's hot, keep him in there until his leg falls off. Then when he
yeah,
cools down, then you take him out. Why do you
that's
gotta take
old.
him out? Because
That's
numbers.
definitely old school baseball, brother. And
It's
let me see,
stupid.
Bryce Harper. Guess what? Streak broken. He went 0 for 4 today against
Good.
this. Yeah, streak has been broken, guys. Just that's
So
an
a hit
update.
streak or on base? Because there's a
The
difference.
hit streak.
Hit
It's a
streak.
hit
Okay,
streak.
okay.
Yeah, it's a hit streak. He's done for. He has to start fresh tomorrow. Well, yeah, he has to start fresh tomorrow. I would say he started fresh today. He definitely did because he went 0 for. But it's okay. He's still an
And all
amazing
right, so
piece.
name the other guys on
I
Profar,
did.
Harper,
Profar,
Wong,
Harper, India, and
India. Okay,
Diaz. Yeah.
okay, yeah. See, the only guy I should have gotten was Harper because he's obvious. You know, he's a big name.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, yeah, exactly, because you should have at least mentioned him. But it's okay. That's what this trivia is for. Now you learned something. Now I can't get you again with the same question. So, and you
Yeah, that
learned
was
something
good.
at the same time. That was a pretty good question. I thought it was. I thought it was,
No, that was good. I
interesting.
liked it.
All right, so we're coming to the end of the show. We ended up on a great note. Philly just beat the Atlanta Braves. The
Yep,
Mets took the series from the Baltimore Orioles.
good series.
Great series. Kept it close except for the second game where Baltimore was like, let me show you why we are who we are. But you know what? We still fought hard and we won that series. And we needed that season, that series to keep the season going. And I'm going to go for the ride. That's all I can say. We're coming to the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one. I had fun with this one, Lodge.
Yeah, that was great, man. Good job.